Dorothy Mmushi. Dorothy, it's a great pleasure talking to you. And I suppose the big question as well is, did the police minister lie before Parliament's Portfolio Committee back in March, insofar as his relationship to Brown Mokgotsi is concerned? And if so, what are the next steps for Parliament?
Good morning, Michelle, and good morning to your viewers. I think there's no better way of putting it. Clearly, the police minister had misled Parliament in his initial response regarding his relationship with Brown Mokgotsi, which he then later retracted and said he knows Brown Mokgotsi as a comrade. So that obviously is lying. There's no better way of putting it. And there should be recourse to that. I mean, you can't have a minister misleading Parliament on such an important element. And he had no choice but to actually come clean, given the evidence that has come through to show that he had previously given misleading information in Parliament. So Parliament has to take action against Minister Mchunu.
What are some of the other big questions that we're hoping to get clarity from? Of course, Brown Mokgotsi is chief among them. What is the extent of this relationship? Why did Brown Mokgotsi apparently have confidential police information that really only top officials in the SAPS should have access to? That's obviously really at the top of the list of questions that parliamentarians will be asking the minister today. But I suppose the Political Killings Task Team, even though there's been conflicting reports about its success and the budget and whether it was used to the extent that it should be, the disbanding of the PKTT perhaps is more important, and the legality around how that decision was made.
Yes, that's correct. I think top of the list for the members of Parliament today, in terms of questioning the minister, would be to have an understanding of the extent of the relationship between Brown Mokgotsi and the minister himself. And I think also what is of importance is to have an understanding of why was Brown Mokgotsi involved in being the middleman to get funding from Ket Matlala, which was then later given or was used for purposes that benefited the minister. So clearly that's an indication of a corrupt relationship, because this was funds that were taken from Ket Matlala, who was awarded a tender within the SAPS, who then sent funding via Brown Mokgotsi to the benefit of the police minister. And in terms of the disbanding of the political task team, what would be of importance to establish is whether the disbanding was legal or illegal, sorry. And what needs to happen is there needs to be an explanation of what informed that decision from the minister's perspective. Was the political task team doing what it was intended to do? Was it overstepping its mandate and boundaries? And if it was indeed effective, then why did the minister call for its disbandment? And the key word is immediately. Why would you want to disband a task team that is effective with immediate effect? Yeah. And without even providing proper clarity for the reasons for it to be disbanded.
Right. And huge questions about who, as you say, who did the minister consult, Dorothy, and did he have the power to make that decision? And Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, Fani Masimola, both testifying that he did not have the power. It doesn't fall in the ambit of the police minister to get involved with operational matters.
Yes, and which is correct. I mean, the roles and responsibilities of a police minister is that of an executive. It's police oversight and it's policy development. I mean, he could have rather even concentrated on issues that relate to policy reform within the SAPS. I mean, based on the evidence that we've heard from both the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee, there's a lot of policy deficiencies within the SAPS which needed his immediate attention. But yet he decided to go and encroach on issues of operations, such as the disbanding now of the political task team, political killings task team.
So the president has also been brought into this discussion insofar as Masimola testifying, that's the National Police Commissioner, testifying that the minister told him the president supported this decision to disband the political killings task team. Obviously, that's hearsay. We don't know whether the president did indeed know about the decision or whether he supported the decision to disband the political killings task team. But it does point, Dorothy, to this web of various decisions being made, and it's very difficult to decipher what it is that is true, particularly, I suppose, as this ad hoc committee is unfolding. We've also got almost this parallel judicial inquiry in the Madlanga Commission, which is also unfolding in Pretoria.
Yes, that is correct. And I think it's quite confusing also for the layman on the street to say, what will the end result of this entire process be? We've got, on the other hand, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, which has a completely different mandate, obviously, to that of the Parliament's ad hoc committee. Now, let's also remember that Parliament's ad hoc committee's purpose is to gather the information, to compile a report, and then provide it to Parliament, to the Speaker of Parliament, so that a decision can be made into these allegations, and especially also in relation to the minister's involvement with this entire issue. So I think the importance of both committees is that we will be able to get clarity on what transpired with the issues. And the good thing about it is that it's being done objectively and independently, and hopefully South Africans will be able to have a clear picture of what transpired with this entire saga.
Yeah.
But
so,
what is... Yes,
sorry to interrupt you there, Dorothy, but what do you make of, just as we stay on this issue of the political killings task team, what do you make of what Shadrack Sibiya had to say before this very same ad hoc committee? He says, we still have political killings in the country, but the numbers are low. He says the PKTT was never going to be permanent. It would have been disbanded eventually. Those 2 points, the fact that there are political killings, he says the numbers are low. What do we make of that?
Well, I think based on the evidence given by General Shadrack Sibiya, he was painting a picture that the political killings task team was not effective in terms of what it was intended for. I mean, if the numbers are low, is there still a need to have the political killings task team? And I think those are issues that the minister should be elaborating on, because that would have formed the basis of, that might have been one of the reasons that maybe they wanted the political killing task team to be disbanded. But that would be based on a strategic perspective. But now, given the evidence that has come forth, there is other factors that would have motivated this decision by the minister. Factors such as his involvement with the likes of Brown Mokhotsi and Kat Matlala.